Jig hasn't been online in months, and he still knows Daxi is the AFK guy.
We know this is an official event of the Loose Screws Squadron because Audaxius is AFK.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
Can't get much more official than that.
Oh, join us in progress. All right. Welcome, everybody, to the 237th episode of the Loose Screws podcast, the loosest and screwiest elite dangerous podcast on your interwebs. Today is June 6th, 2024.
3310.
Okay.
There we go. There we go. All right. So joining me tonight, our Commander Audaxius.
We will find. Would you guys let me speak for myself? Damn it!
Not if we can help it.
33010.
There you go.
Yeah.
Say hello, Audaxius.
Hi.
Commander Bloomingwind.
Hello.
Commander Larkshadow.
Yay.
A blast from the past, Commander Chig.
Hi, I don't know why I'm here right now. This is just, you guys are so loose and screwy. I can't believe you made it worse after I disappeared for a while. This is unbelievable.
Oh, you compliment me, sir.
Oh,
We
Yes.
stand on the shoulder of giants. Commander Mr. Indigo.
Good evening.
And Commander Oblivious.
I'm so starstruck.
That's one way to put it. So let's see what's been going on in God, I know I'm gonna regret this. I'm so gonna regret this, but Audaxius, what's up?
Oh, not much, nerds.
And moving on.
Yes, your boy.
Your boy, Daxi. Oh God.
Okay, let's just move on for everyone's well-being.
Okay. Commander Bloomingwind, what's up?
Oh, how are you? Yeah. Not a lot. Work is always as busy. Found out that I have a corn on one of my feet.
Ooh.
Do you know what a corn is?
Oh, yeah.
As opposed
Comes
to
on
a
a cob,
Yeah.
as opposed to a wart.
Yeah.
I'd like this foot pain on the side of my foot and didn't know what the hell it was, and
Oh,
had to go to the doctor today anyway. And she's like, "That's a corn," and I'm like, "What the cinnamon
No.
is a corn?" And
You're like the
and she's
food?
like, no, it's like a needle-shaped callus.
Mm.
And it's like it hurts. So anyway,
Just lock the whole thing off, ankle down.
she said,
Get a new
yeah,
one.
Exactly.
Don't
cut
even
your
mess with
losses.
it. Yeah.
yeah, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have a professional cut it off next week.
Yeah, just below the knee,
Yeah, I
put a
didn't
blade
know you
on,
should-
you're good.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just hobble in, and then it's so fun having the daughter back from college. She just started her internship, so her entering the work world is very interesting. She had to also take some summer classes. Now, this is where colleges, I think, rob us and are just trying to pick our pockets. So,
Yeah.
when she graduated high school, she got a 5 on the AB calculus exam, right? And then she had to take some advanced math for her accounting degree. And then I'm like, that's fair. And then all of a sudden they're like, well, you have this requirement, but it's so ridiculously easy, but you have to do it. And so she has to take a class that's basically like 11th grade math. And she's like, why am I taking this stupid class? And so she's taking it over the summer in like your sleep. And I'm like, I'm paying for it, which is the worst part of it. It's like I'm having to pay for remedial math for my daughter who placed out of advanced math when she graduated high school. I'm like, this is stupid. But she's going to get a great paying job when she's done all of her education, so she can pay me back. And then in game, I've been doing things I can't talk about. And and in addition to doing things I can't talk about, I had the pleasure of delivering tritium to the 2 winners of the buckyball race. I'll let Boob handle the details of that. But
Well
I just
done,
want to
sir.
say that this was the first time in buckyball history that there was a purse for the races, and it was 3,000 tons of Niebla's artisanal tritium. If it's not Nieblas, it's just sparkling hydrogen.
So I take it both the class winners actually had carriers then.
Yes, they did. And they were both very accommodating and very happy to receive 3,000 tons of free tritium. Because I can tell you, tritium, it ain't cheap. And artisanal tritium is less cheap. But we'll guarantee you a 15-minute jump time even after an update or a community goal.
That's bold talk right there. That's bold talk.
Yeah.
I've never had a problem jumping. Wow. That's what I get to report.
All right. Lark Shadow, what's up?
Oh, I have been just working my brains out in real life. And oh, for frick's sake, stop with the freaking. All right. And sorry, trying to fly and talk at the same time. My brain's very one track right now. And that track has damage. Anyways, in game, I have basically been doing everything. There's no other way to put it. I'm exhausted.
Yeah, you have been busy the past week.
Let's go. That's it for me.
Commander Chig.
Hi. It's been a while.
It has. At the least, it's been a while. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even remember the last time I popped in. Career wise and game wise and everything else, just been so busy. Daughter and in high school with all of her events and stuff. It's kept me away from the game quite a bit. But now I'm making another career change, and I'm gonna. I don't know. My hours are gonna be quite different than they were before, and I should have some time. I'm no longer gonna be like, I don't know. It's so much easier when you can leave work and just be done with work, and that's
Amen, brother.
Yeah. That's a real quality of life difference right there.
Yes, absolutely.
What's that like?
Yeah. Shut up, corn boy.
Blooming Wind, even if he told you, you wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm hoping to get back into thing. I'm going to jump into the redacted and some redacted, and then some redacted, maybe next week redacted. But I took the opportunity to jump back in here because after listening to last week's show and just the insanity, I figured somebody has to come in here and be a little bit sane. And the fact that that's me is very, very concerning. But I we'll see how this goes. I'm pretty up to date in game news, so I should be able to contribute to the discussion here, even the parts that are redacted. So
I was going to say concerning or awesome.
Yeah, fun. Is the word I like to use.
Good luck in your endeavors to keep us under control, Chig.
I didn't say I was going to keep you under control. I said I was just going to. Well, I didn't say it, but in my head, I'm coming in to yell at you idiots when you get off on and just say the most preposterous shit ever. That's all.
So you're going to be screaming all night, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, some random yelling here and there.
I can't wait.
It's a new mommy.
I can't wait till he has to do enough of that that he loses his voice and can't do it anymore.
No, Chig was never the mommy.
You want to put
podcast.
some congratulations out there to Mommy J Tracks for hitting triple elite. I heard
yes, exactly.
Yes.
Everyone, round of applause.
Yay.
Well done.
Yay.
J Tracks. It's a big achievement. It's been a long time coming.
About damn time.
Triple.
Also,
elite.
Chig has never been the mommy of the podcast. Chig has always been the crazy uncle.
Yeah, no, everybody knows Trax is the mommy.
Yeah, Trax is mommy.
Everybody knows that.
Ty is daddy. Trax is mommy. Chig is.
Jeez, boy.
Chig is also there.
Piece of work.
And Chig is there.
Chig is the crazy uncle.
Chig.
Yeah, that when he shows up to a family dinner, everybody rolls their eyes.
Well,
right.
With good reason.
Yeah.
It's okay. The
Mr.
nephews and
Indigo.
nieces love him.
Yeah. Commander Mr. Indigo, what's up?
You know that thing that happens sometimes when you're doing wing murder missions and you think, hey, I'm just going to go kill one guy real quick. And you end up with a whole bunch of people who really want to kick your ass and it doesn't go all that well.
Oh, that time when every single target shows up in the same instance for the specific purpose of killing you.
Yeah.
We call that a time saver.
Yeah. I leveled up a minute ago and walked away with 11% of my hull after killing exactly 0 bad guys, right?
Oh,
Big success. And I just thought, hey, I'll try it again, and ended up in pretty much the same scenario. except they're all zombies.
Oh, jeez.
Not one of them
Just
will
sitting there.
move other than to avoid a collision. And if I shoot them in the face, they just stand there and take it. It's like an on foot
Nice.
team that gets stuck, and there's just it's a bunch of brain dead AI ships. Or
Have fun coring out some ships.
Vulture, a couple of chieftains.
I've
Heck
lost
yes.
the will to live.
So
Yeah, more than I could
they're
ever.
not moving and they're not firing at you, but you shot them.
Repeatedly.
Yeah, I'm taking.
Sounds like a
screen-
war crime to me.
I'm taking. Oh my! Well, I think there is a war in the system, so I'm okay.
It's
with
not
that.
a war crime the first time.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
Oopsies.
it's kind of creepy. That's what I'm doing. Other than that, just finished running a buckyball race, and I'll talk more about that later. And yeah, happy to be
Cool.
here.
All right. Commander Oblivious, what's up?
I think this is the first time in Screw history that we've received a voice of reason from both Chig and Hate at the same time.
Are we sure
Wow,
that
we've
actually
really gone
happened?
downhill.
I'm not sure it happened. One of them we got in writing, though. So,
Oh boy.
Just remember, in
I didn't know
space,
he'd write.
downhill is also uphill.
okay, just turn over. Well, let's see. I too have been pretty busy in game with something I can't talk about, other than to say I'm just extremely proud and pleased on how our community has responded. I did have a pretty interesting time early in the week. Took an offer up from our Tripro Elite, Mr. J.N. Trax, and traveled out to Goid space and got some firsthand lessons on trying to do some cold orbiting. And I absolutely sucked at it, but I did learn a few things, and I hope to put it to practice here pretty soon.
Good deal. Yeah, that's something I know I need to personally practice on.
I want to touch base on that just real quick, because we do have Adaxius, the pole master of the Discord,
You goddamn right.
and he put up a poll, not a dick pic, an actual poll, POLL.
Jesus Christ.
And he asked about what was it about the biggest thing about anti-Xeno stuff in our Discord, and for some reason people feeling that they were inadequate, or that the people in our Discord were too advanced, it made them feel inadequate, was the one that won the poll result.
That was shit
But-
posting, right? That was
That
like,
had
I
to have
hope
been,
so.
because like I
When
said, that was the one that I chose because it pushed it to 69%, and I could say nice. And Volt admitted,
that
that
one
he
for
answered,
sure.
because that seemed like the goofiest of the answers. I didn't know we were supposed to be taking these polls seriously, and now Trax has been like feeling guilty that we're being exclusionary and stuff. And you guys got to let him know that we're not.
So
Everybody's fine.
Run with it.
my operating theory is that it started as a shit post that morphed into like some honestly heartfelt, unexpected commentary.
And some
And-
good timing too, because now all of a sudden interceptors are back on the menu, and
I will
Yeah.
say, like,
EZs are back, and yeah.
lest we toot our own horn. I mean, Operation Oops All Gold or Oops All Bronze. We were at one point.
No, it was-
Anti-Xeno.
It was Operation Bronze Medal, which
Operation
turned
Bronze
into
Medal.
Oops, All Gold.
At one point in time, we were the top anti-Xeno squadron in the game. You can check the logs, bitch. It's in there. So
100%.
So I understand, and anti-Xeno's a lot. So I legitimately was like, you know what? I bet, I started as a shit post, but I bet some people are like, wow, this is a lot to chew on. I feel like I'm not contributing. So I don't think we should feel bad about it. I think we've been far from exclusatory towards people. But at the same time, if you're just dipping your toes into the pool and you look at an anti-Xeno, it is a lot. And you can forget how much it is to start out in.
And that's the moral of the poll, so to say, is so to speak, would be don't be afraid to ask about us. We don't mind asking answering even the simplest of questions, even though we can put on there like we do at Adaxius, dude, check an aura or scroll up. But we will answer questions. We will help. I mean, we've got I know me, Trax, Single Malt Scotty. Those are 3 I know of who have all soloed Hydras.
Worked
in this game.
Borked?
I don't think he's soloed a Hydra yet. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I'd like to know if he.
But
has.
he's an extremely experienced AX pilot too.
Well,
so-
he fights interceptors a little bit different than some of us others do. He is not afraid. He embraces the immortality of our pilots. I mean, he literally he's like, yes, if I die, I go back to a station. So I'm just going to die a whole bunch. Go check his. And I think.
He has died a whole bunch.
Well, he is the man who coined the phrase "explode to reload."
Yep.
I forgot about that.
Does it a lot. But I mean, he is very skilled too, and he knows his stuff. So he's another person that will answer any questions. So please come, ask questions. We will train you up. And the side result of that poll and Trax taking it seriously is he did run a little clinic and got Oblivious out there, and now Oblivious thinks he's an AX ace. So bravo.
Yeah, I actually learned some things watching that stream because I was one of those people that also realized that answer probably started as a meme, but I also answered that way honestly. And while I mostly orbit with FA on just because it's a preference thing, I learned a whole bunch. It was very informative, and I'm very thankful to him.
For the record,
that is a good point of the difference in styles. We got Trax, and you watch him, and it's like a dance, the elegance of orbiting, and then you get Borts that just face tanks everything. So
Yes.
it's quite different.
Yeah, I have graduated from the school of Bork as well.
we need explode to reload on some LSN merch.
Yeah, we do.
I just came to that realization. We need a good graphic, and we need explode to reload.
I concur.
For me, I have also been doing a whole bunch of stuff that we can't talk about in the open recently. And then in the game,
we're all flying around with sensor bars on our cockpits.
Yeah. And then I know a couple of weeks ago, I had mentioned that we were building a flower bed across the front of the house. So, picture a standard ranch style home. You're looking at the front of it, everything to the left of the door's in the middle of the house. Everything to the left is the front porch. Everything to the right is just the brick front of the house. It's like 22 feet. And we pulled all the old bushes out of it a while back. And so we're going to build this little raised flower bed there. And I've got everything we need to actually do it. And it's been a couple of weeks because it's either been raining cats and dogs on the weekend, or there was one weekend we had to go out of town for a funeral, or, there's always been something coming up. So this past Sunday, there's nothing going on. It wasn't raining. It was overcast, and it was only about 75 degrees. Perfect opportunity. So we're going to get out there and get it done. And every man in this chat will understand exactly what I'm about to say when it comes to honeydew lists. There has been a certain amount of feature creep in this project.
Churn.
Feature creep on a honeydew? That never happens. I don't know what you're talking about.
So we went from using pavers to build this raised edge to the flower bed. And of course, I'm benching it out and putting down a gravel underneath it and doing it right so it remains stable. We've gone from just building that 22 feet of enclosed bed to now we're going to take it down the side of the house, and we're going to build one about 5 feet around the mailbox out by the street. And we're going to build two more, one's for a pollinator garden and one for something else that are about 4x5 or 4x6 that are out in the yard.
See you next August.
So that's going to turn into the whole yard, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
I was expecting to say got a little bit of feature creep where started this flower bed. Now we've got a 6,000 square foot home in Montana.
It's not quite that bad. No, and I tell you, it'll never be that because my wife wouldn't move to Montana. It snows there.
My God!
It really snows there too.
And she really, without the evidence of a thermometer right in front of her, would swear on her grandmother's grave that water froze solid at about 85 degrees.
I was going to say, okay, maybe I should have said Arizona, but then you would say, well, my wife knows that Adaxius lives there, so that's out. Then I'd say Idaho, and then be like, no, snow again.
Yeah.
Then I'd move
exactly.
down. It's just, it's bad.
Yeah, I mean that's the problem. But so all of the other flower beds got built Sunday. So the one around the mailbox and the two in the yard got built Sunday at the expense of all the materials needed to finish the one we actually started this project with. So either tomorrow or Saturday, I'm back off to the home supply store to buy more of these damn pavers. Feature creep is going to kill me.
Started as a flower bed, and now you have a cabin on the Oregon coast.
Well, this is the problem. My wife is a teacher. School is out. So I know there are several people out there who know exactly what that feels like.
I do.
I mean, you're so old, you could pull out old VHS tapes of this old house, set her down in front of the TV, and she can learn how to do this shit herself.
Don't you bad talk Norm.
No, so you do the reverse of that. Instead of this old house, you put on the Red Green Show, specifically just his DIY segments.
And I don't want her. She watches enough home and garden TV now to get ideas. So
What about a victory garden out back?
we've already got that rolling,
Oh, you already got that rolling.
and it's in a whole bunch of raised planters. Guess who built them?
You did.
Yeah, that are in the backyard. And guess who moves them around when she doesn't like where they are? I'm not kidding. That's my son that moves them around because I refuse to do it.
Reminds me of my mother-in-law, who started out with just a small garden in her backyard, and now it's literally a food forest. There is not a portion of that backyard that is not
Yeah.
growing something.
I
That's
was
not edible.
on the plus side, we made this kind of vegetable salad thing for dinner tonight with tomatoes and bell peppers from our own garden and fresh potatoes from my cousin's farm. So
Hey, you
there
said potatoes right. Good job.
so there is some advantage to actually, having those flower beds and growing stuff in them. But I digress. We're not going to sit here and talk about gardening all night. Let's move
Today
on.
on Loose Trowels.
He'll
That
be
is
here
bad.
all.
Oh,
He'll be
God.
here all week.
That's what I was
Change it.
afraid of.
Yep.
All right, let's move on and do a squad update. And
Do we have a
nobody
sound, or
made
do we
a
do
sound
sounds?
effect.
There you go.
All right, close enough. Blooming Wind, you're on.
Great. So we have a short message from the BGS Admiralty. Daxi, you're on.
Ladies and gentlemen, today at 8:41 a.m., Loose Screws is at war. Our opponent is using a long time but inactive ally to attack Loose Screws space. This aggressor has ignored all our offers to communicate and parlay. I can only assume that roleplay is to project evil. The good news, this has energized our BGS commanders and engaged our allies. We are in it for the long haul. Our final message to our faceless foe. We cannot stop you from attacking our space. But there is nothing you can do that we cannot undo. Time is the real currency in this game. And we have more of it than you. Jesus, you make us sound like we have no lives.
So
Mic
say
drop.
we all.
So say we all.
Mic drop, cut. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, that's the end of the show.
I was doing my best Churchill, and if you've ever heard a recording of Winston Churchill, he talks.
That was
he talks
great,
like an
Churchill.
Oompa Loompa.
I was.
It was a great Churchill, just slightly better than Bobby Hill. Got it.
And if you don't like
Bobby
it,
Hill.
Yeah.
There we go. A day which will live in infamy.
I didn't. Wrong leader.
And wrong day.
Oh yeah.
Year.
Oh,
Yeah, this
God,
is
you had to go
EA, not Pearl
you had to
Harbor
go and
Day.
blow it. You could have gone with "We will fight them on the beaches," but you had to
Yep.
go with "Day That'll Live in Infamy," which is just the wrong side of the world.
You know. Did you guys really expect any better than that?
You ruined
No.
it, man. You totally ruined it.
It was great.
Dude, that
Um,
was so good. I've forgiven every other piece of idiocy you've ever uttered. That was golden.
We
I'm
will
sure our
fight
folks don't
them.
know the difference.
We will fight them in the CZs. Yeah.
That's it. See, now you're rolling. Now you're rolling.
It's war, boys.
Yes,
fight them
we
in
will
the
kick them in the
CZs.
dingus.
Yeah.
We will fight them in the polls.
We will
We'll
fight
kick them
them
in
in
the
the
dingus.
trail of a white dwarf.
Yep.
That's
a
that's
dark,
terrible.
a
Place to
dark
fight 'em.
day, a black day, ere the sun rises.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, Theoden.
Exciting time.
I hate to ask you to. I hate to ask you to follow that up, Blooming Wind, but can you give us some more cogent updates?
Gondor will answer.
Oh no!
All right. So we have 3 elections going on in Bagalis, FF Andromeda, and V2151 Cygni. As long as I've been doing this, there's been nothing that's gone on in V2151 Cygni, and we've had 2 conflicts in the last week there. What the cinema this bug?
Yeah,
I mean, it was like a dead system.
yeah. The only thing that's ever gone there before is we arrived in that system because I think it was 6 Andromeda, went runaway expansion, and we gave whatever PMF is already in there the heads up that like, hey, we're going to be neighbors.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
we've had
Cygni
wars-
is usually where ideas go to die, so it's weird.
Yeah.
We have wars in Tamor, Yemaia, not Yemi-ya-ya, Yenti, and Yingo. So it's the first time that we've had wars in 3 systems that begin with Y.
It's the triple Ys.
Why?
Why?
At the- Why?
Oh,
Exactly. And then
MCA.
Howard, which we just had a victory in Howard. Good work, everybody. Is under infrastructure failure, but miraculously we ended up on top despite that. So we just need to get out of infrastructure failure. So bring water purifiers, power generators, and mineral extractors to Howard, to Rogatino High, and we'll be much appreciative.
And quick shout out, currently I can see in system McGeek, Roy, and I all doing trading here in Howard to get us out of IF. So good work, boys.
And I tell y'all right now, if you're doing trading in Rogatino High, it's selling small quantities of gold and silver. I mean, like a dozen of gold and silver, but
Teeny
they're selling for like 3,000 a ton. So while you're there, pick them up, stash them on your fleet carrier for later, because you're never going to get them that cheap anywhere else again.
And when you get them that cheap, they actually count for trade or BGS, as opposed to mining them, which doesn't count.
Correct.
Alrighty. And then Balmus, Zions, and Uchigan need a little bit of love. They're kind of the influence is dropping there. But anyway, those are kind of the highlights of what's going on that we can disclose. Everything else is classified. If you're interested in BGS, come to our Loose Screws channel and check out that. Standing orders is going to be a little bit more erratic because of the war effort. We have to protect some of our information. But if you have any questions or any interest in participating in BGS, just reach out to any of the BGS Admiralty, whether it's Nurgle or Hate or Oblivious or myself. We love talking about it, and we appreciate everyone who's been hustling and working their butts off the last few weeks, doing things I can't talk about.
And
we appreciate you guys telling us what to do.
I think we should also mention that one of the issues with getting standing orders out now is that the tick is rolling through close to 8 p.m. Central time. And then, of course, it's usually sometime much later than that when the updates actually show up where you can act on them. So sometimes fresh information isn't available till after most of us have gone to bed.
Yeah. And how many people are working during the day too? I mean, it's just kind of like, get standing orders out, and it's like everyone has a window of, maybe when they get home from work to the next tick, it's like tight.
Yeah. And it's, the tick over the years has shifted many, many times. Sometimes it's really advantageous for, at least for the North American time zones. Sometimes it's not. Right now it's in one of those, this is not the best time for us, but there's not much
I'm
we
sure
can do
some
about it.
catastrophic bug will come along at some point that'll shift it again. So I mean,
But I was really hoping that the server side patch they did today was going to push it back. So we may see. I'm not sure if it's affected it at all, but it is at a really inconvenient time for us right now. I know first world problems, but
The tick has not been detected yet today.
No.
mm, mm,
yeah, I
it
watched
was
they
fine.
patched something and the tick just straight up didn't happen.
yeah. For the record, it is currently just a few minutes after the said 8 p.m. Central Time, and we haven't had a tick yet. So that does not bode well for the direction of the time change for the tick. Oh,
Keep
well.
trading efforts.
Keep working it.
Yep.
All right. Let's move on and get a Galnet update from Lark.
Oh, I should stop my ship. Okay. Well, I can't. You know my brain. Shut up.
Do you know your brain?
I really don't.
Does anyone?
Anyways, so Galnet, there's actually a CG going on in 2024.
Oh.
It is the
Woohoo.
weirdest thing. So basically, what's happening is Hudson and Archer's systems are under pirate attack. If you find the CG either on the community site for Elite Dangerous or on Inara, it'll tell you what systems you need to go to. There is two sides to this CG. You can either hunt down the pirates and turn in the bounties and bonds, or you can deliver goods to help stave off everything the pirates are stealing. Either way, it'll contribute to the CG. And the reward for the CG is some, what I think, pretty cool paint jobs for the Federal gunship and the Federal Corvette. Plus,
they
it's a
do look-
great way to get your Fed rank like me if you don't have it.
Somebody put up a picture. They are pretty nice looking paint jobs.
I hate to ever be the cynical one, but I just felt this was a CG that was written by ChatGPT.
It was not. It was written by
It's
Microsoft
just-
Copilot.
If an algorithm analyzed all prior CGs and had to spit one out, I'm like, this is what it would be.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
But
There we
yay,
go.
paint jobs, yay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on
but
the
the
wait,
AI
wait,
came
wait.
up with the paint jobs.
Wait, are you on to something? Is that maybe what FDEF has done is just moved all
it's just-
development to ChatGPT?
I'm just saying, it's like very generic.
I mean, they fired like everybody,
Very,
so that
yeah.
I was
would
going
make
to say
a
maybe the
lot of
writing
sense.
team. Yeah,
Very
Huh.
generic.
they seem to have kept the developers though,
Yeah.
which is all right.
Yep.
Some 19-year-old intern was like, "Guys, we can just write these things using ChatGPT." And then
He's
they're
like
"Hey."
playing League of Legends on his phone. He's like, guys, you're working too hard. He's just like tip 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 tip, and then it just spits it out. All right, done. I'm going on break. Yeah.
Wow.
somewhere in David Brayburn's office, he's sitting there listening to this, going, "Wait, that's why we got rid of those people?"
Okay,
Right.
I want to throw this out here right now. Who uses GTP a little bit? Somebody
Not me.
should
Yeah.
try to have ChatGPT write a new open letter to FDev and see what it comes up with.
Going to Microsoft Copilot right now, and I'm going to
See,
try that.
We have to
even
feed
chat-
it the old one.
Even GPT could not make one longer than the 84-page one that one dude churned out.
There is that. But length is not
Yeah.
everything, my friend. At least that's
Wow.
what Teflon's wife told me.
Yeah, my gosh, Jake, did you see
Wow.
the link to that?
He's not
Ooh.
even- He's not even here. He's not even here to respond.
Yes, he is.
Yes,
he
he's
is. I'm
cold.
listening in.
Oh,
I'm gonna fuck you up, Jake. I don't know where you get off thinking you're not my bitch. We're gonna
Oh,
rectify
shit.
this right now.
all right, guys, take it
Now
to
Now
take
you
it
guys.
to the
Wait,
the
wait,
FA
wait.
channel.
Now
guys.
you know
Change
why
the
I haven't
hands.
been on the show in a while. I was in freaking witness protection, hiding from Teflon.
Before I have a really important question about this CG. So
Okay.
if a pirate attacks the Federation, does anybody care?
No.
I certainly don't, but I want the
No
Fed
one
rank, so I'm going to
cares.
participate in it.
So
I'm
where's
surprised There's not a pirate side to the CG.
That's what I was going to ask. Where's the pirate side to this CG we can join? I want to fuck up some Fed systems.
Well, man,
Yeah, I mean, I'm in.
we're strapped when we need somebody talking about player agency, right? And unopposed federal CG. Yeah, that's fun.
Oh, that's
I'm
funny.
down for this. Let's get the let's fuck up Feds.
So can we have a write-in campaign?
Amen.
Show up and play the pirate side.
Yeah, I played the game this week, so
No.
Is there a new
Yeah,
name for the
I mean-
loop of shame if you're using the SCO?
Oh, it's just how you
Super
get there
loop
now.
of shame.
It's just how you get there now. You will always overshoot.
It's the
Tactical loop.
super loop of shame.
Yeah.
I prefer
Where we
that
at on this
operating procedure.
where are we at on this ride? Because I just got here.
Galnet.
We're talking about Galnet.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Actually, I
anyway,
think
I was just going to say, get your paint jobs there. Actually, kind of cool.
which is
And if you need to
really the
grind
only
some
thing.
FedRAMP,
Yeah.
Also, if you need the Fed
That's
rank,
true.
this is a great way to get it because the influence and rep will be going fast to get you that rank quicker than you normally would.
Did they at least increase the payouts for bounties?
Let me double check.
they must have, right?
Well, they've done this before without increasing the payout. All right. While he's looking at that,
President-elect Felicia Winters.
Yeah, they didn't say it in the thing.
Wasn't saying the Galnet, yeah.
yeah. All right. Well, we'll do a brief Thargoid War update.
Yep.
So last week, Haddad exploded. That lead. Okay. Suck it.
That's good.
Haddad went Hadakadoom.
Dad went haboom.
Haboom. There we go. Haddad
Yeah.
haboomed.
The dad went Hadouken.
Oh, you're
frick,
wrong
I'm
for
old,
that,
but
Jeff.
that was funny.
Yes. Hadouken. All right. That means we're halfway there. There's 4 Titans down. There's 4 Titans left. AXI has moved on to focusing down Titan Indra next. As of this afternoon, Titan Indra still has 91 controlled systems. So
it's going to take a while.
it's going to take a couple of weeks to get them worked down. If you really want to know what to do to help out with the Thargoid War, AXI's Discord is the place to go to look for that, and you can get information on the Defense Council of Humanity's website. Do we want to talk about Meccan here, or do we want to save that for? Let's save that for discussion.
You want to talk about naked?
Meccan.
Commander Meccan.
Meccan.
All right.
Why,
So
why is he naked?
Okay, we need to decide
Like,
first. Is it Meccan or Meekin?
it's Meccan to me.
Meccan.
You know, I think war criminals aren't worth this much thought. So
It's
I don't really.
Or is it the French
Meccan.
version? Meccan.
All right.
No.
Hold your fire on this. We're going to get to it in a minute.
Mhm.
Dev news. So I left a note in the show notes about the reveal of the Type 8 last week. I added the link to Burr's breakdown on everything revealed about the Type 8 if somebody wants to go and look that up.
Great
Dev
video.
announced either yesterday or Tuesday, I forget which, announced they were going to have a server-side patch today to make some more updates to the Thargoid War. So they made some changes to the way Spire systems spread pushback, and they no longer affect alert systems, which makes sense. They probably shouldn't have. They made uninhabited alert systems a lot less challenging to contest, which is good because that has been a nightmare for a long time. They boosted the results you get from Orthrus hunting in these systems,
Nice.
which is, in my mind, the way they should have been from the beginning because of the way they build Orthrus as advanced scouts.
Mm-hmm.
They jacked up the contribution from killing Basilisks, Medusas, and Hydra interceptors,
Yes.
which was good.
That probably should have been that way from the start, but I'm okay with it going in now too.
That's where
And
the
then-
fun's at.
And then the one I don't understand, scout types have received a significant boost to war contribution.
That's
That
fine.
they just want it over.
Right, they want it over.
Yeah.
It's exactly what that is. It's exactly what that is. And then
Well,
there was
then
a
make him
bug
retreat,
fix.
FDev. You got the freaking con.
Well, I mean, I would say that a lot of these changes are changes that should have been in that should have been there from day one. But I'm glad they're here now. But I have a feeling they're only here now because somebody at FDev has decided, all right, TikTok, we need to wrap this up.
Yeah, in my
TikTok got
opinion, we might actually kill one more Titan, and I think the rest will bug out back to wherever.
I'm hoping. I'm really hoping that they bug out at least a couple of them, hopefully to what is now a locked section of space and unlock it. When they do that, that would
Also
be pretty cool.
bug out.
Yeah, I know. Nice pun.
We got
Alright.
we got a keyboard bleeding through on the mic. Someone.
It's oblivious, looks like.
Oblivious. Yep.
Lord Shadow, did you make a pun?
That's
Oh,
a
yes,
square
he did.
puns.
Do you know
Yes,
what
he did.
you know what the punishment for that is?
Fine, I'll get the latex suit.
Bring out the GIMP.
Oh, God. We're not going to go there. We're so not going to go there.
Moving on to the discussion.
Moving on to the discussion. All right. Who wants to summarize this terrible, horrible, no good day position that Commander Meccan has found himself in?
Oh, I'll summarize it for you in 5 words.
Okay.
Fuck around and find out.
And for the other perspective,
I'll give an actual neutral TLDR.
okay.
So basically, during the fight against Haddad, Commander Meekin, Mahan, however you say it, made the call to kill the non-player characters or NPCs that are present in the Titan area because they have become, according to him, more of a nuisance and are actually getting more people killed, and it's for the air quote greater good. And this caused a very big divide in the community, and everyone's all in a tizzy about it, and go.
Alrighty. So here's the deal. I was screaming at the podcast last week because I couldn't be on.
That makes 2 of
Okay.
us.
That makes
Okay.
me so happy.
Yeah. Santa Claus is not real. The Easter Bunny is not real. And
Dude,
these
Lord Shadow doesn't know
NPCs and the NPCs, they're not real. This is a
What?
video game.
How
So
dare
if you've got
you?
a bunch
trying
of
to tell me?
NPCs that are just a bunch of ones and zeros that are making it difficult for us to actually execute what we're trying to execute, wipe them out because it's just a video game. And you know what? If AXI wants to come to Screw Space and extradite me, they can go ahead and frickin' try.
Hey,
Good luck in
you-
finding me.
You
I'm
know
gonna
what?
go somewhere.
You know what? Now that NPC whose poor kids always go hungry because our cargo hold is always empty. Now, not only are they hungry, their entire existence has been devalued. They are crying, Blooming Wind, listening to this podcast because you don't even acknowledge their existence. I think it's a scandal. It's a shame.
If an NPC cries in the woods, does anybody hear it?
Yeah, it's going
little
1,
snail.
0, 0,
There aren't-
1,
there
1,
aren't even
0.
woods in
That's
this
what
game.
it's crying.
It's little ones and zeros that run down their face.
You
Just
know,
gonna
you know
say
who
the
else said
name.
it's just ones and zeros? All of the bad guy agents in the Matrix.
Okay, so
Let
just
me-
change the name. It's really
Agent Smith
War
was a
Game
good guy.
Crimes.
I will
It's a-
say that I probably have no business standing against someone like that because I can't tell you how many that I've just murdered.
Yeah, didn't you eat the Pope at one point?
Yep, he did. And
Okay.
bear in mind, I'm saying that those NPCs shouldn't be killed, whilst I've been going about happily murdering all the live long day. What's my notoriety at? Oh, it's down to 6 from 9. Nice.
I just as a little side tangent, I do get a kick out of how something like that can expose really how fundamentally different people approach video games. Because
I
for
know.
whatever reason, I have to act in a video game like I would in real life. And if every game I've attempted to act like a bad guy, I have to stop and I literally feel bad in real life.
Hey, man,
I just can't do it.
just be a real life bad guy, and then you don't have that problem.
Exactly. Yeah, let me
Modern problems require modern solutions.
let me
Amen.
just add a slightly different take on what Blooming Wind already said so eloquently. What we have here is a bunch of people who take themselves way too seriously for a video game, complaining about somebody else min-maxing said video game.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
it's the whole
If you're gonna-
ludicrousness.
if you're going to be that
Go ahead.
gung ho about it, why are you not guarding your systems and asking people who other players who come in there what their business is?
Well, I have
some of
been.
them
It's
are
an
right
answer.
about shit.
Such a clash
Well-
of two worlds, though. You're talking about one guy who's saying the best way to min-max the game and get as many credits as possible, which is absolutely, so far outside of RP that it's
You can't see it from here.
you can't
Yeah.
see it. So that is so
Yeah.
far out of RP. And another group of players who decide the punishment for this guy doing something so far out of RP is to do a fucking trial. Let's role play the hell out of this guy who's min-maxing something that is not role playing. It makes my head hurt. It's just
Wait,
it's
a
bonkers.
trial? They did a
I don't-
trial?
I don't know.
They're
if
going
they
to.
did.
They're
Are they?
going to. Yeah.
Yeah, they're putting him. It's a war trial, isn't it, for crimes against humanity?
He has decided to go along with this.
Is he?
I know that's the
It-
next level.
that's
of
what aggravates
absurdity
me.
with this.
Isn't he
Hey.
French? Are French people even human?
Don't they just throw themselves at the mercy of the courts?
No.
I don't understand.
I don't even
I
know.
mean,
For
like,
our French listeners, that's at Audacious.
He
Starting to
He
sound like
should
a
have
bunch of
handled
Eve
this.
players.
he should have handled this the same way Trax handled this when they came after him, and that was like,
yeah.
excuse me, I was too busy not knowing you were there.
I gotta admit though, just for shits and giggles, I bet you that whole trial actually is somewhat entertaining of a process.
Yeah, I would love
if
to
it's
be-
tongue in cheek, I would do it.
Oh,
I
it
But
would
it's
should
love
not
be.
going to be
be-
tongue in cheek.
I would love to be a
Why do you say
subject for
that?
Hold
I would
on,
hope it would
wait,
be.
unless I'm wrong, the impression I got was that it started as kind of a Galnet drought. People have been generating content and generating pretend stories for Galnet in similar venues, and that any actual, hard feelings about it on behalf of parts of the community have been more of a weird reverberation than any kind of like genuine outrage. But I mean, maybe I'm wrong. It is a peculiar kind of area in the AXI world, because in some sense it is full on min-max territory, but there is also that weird kind of LARPing character to it. The things that some folks do take really seriously over there.
Yeah, I mean, gibbing doesn't count. I remember that it's a big thing for AXI when you're doing anti-Xeno combat. That they were like, well, that you didn't really solo it if you gibbed it.
You must kill them the proper way.
Yeah,
Mm,
I mean,
Oh, so
But
they're
I mean,
peons. Gotcha.
yeah, from the point of view of a content creator, presumably, you've got somebody who gives you this big flashy opportunity to get some attention, and maybe it grew a little bit more than was originally anticipated. But
Oh, I mean, heck
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
would do that too.
yeah. Now
Yeah.
when Psykit and the Sotera Accord decided they were going to go after Salvation and they went on their crusade, that was cool. That was
Yeah.
a cool kind of thing. And they had this plan, and they were going up against an NPC bugbear, whatever, and they got a lot of people involved and on board. I mean, when we went and tried to boost the consortium out in Daxy's Folly, I was
mhm.
hoping that FDev would notice and that it would trigger something and something interesting would happen. We had no such luck, but we did get ARF to say thick Thargoid booty on the air. So that was
Hell
worth
yeah.
any and all of it.
Oh, that was
Everything.
100%.
But but like this sort of show trial. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Someone tried to show trial me on Facebook. I won't get into the details, but it was like one of my friends from high school's little sister, and she was just completely unhinged about something and decided I was like some sort of war criminal, and like
Wait, this is
everyone
for
was
real?
like, yeah, this is for real. Like everyone was like, you're out of
Jeez.
your goddamn mind, lady. Like
Good Lord.
you're an idiot. Like just knock it
Mm.
off.
Wow.
And
Mhm.
and I mean it was over something so trivial, and it was like she decided to have like this show trial. Like all of her friends from real life, wherever she is now, were all like deciding that they were all piling on, and I'm like, who the fuck are you people?
Wow.
Like, I mean, I go on Facebook like once a week or whatever, but so like this whole thing of Meccan having this show trial, I'm kind of like, screw them that want to put a guy on trial. He's in a video game for playing a video game the way he wants to play a video
Mhm.
game.
We
I mean,
need to
that's like-
send Commander
Thanos put
Meccan
together.
a bunch of the Thanos, I don't even know who you are memes for use during the trial.
Listen, I'm a Stellaris player, and if we're going to start charging people with war crimes for the things they do in video games, then I probably need a VPN.
I can't help but wonder if there's somebody over at FDev who's got a binder that just says Civil War on the spine of it. Saying to themselves, oh my God, crimes against humanity. These jokers have no idea what they're about to do to each other.
See, and I can look at this from both sides personally, because I am one of those people that, like, my commander is me. And I don't like doing bad things. I hate that I have notoriety now, but I feel like I'm forced to make an exception because of the big BGS war we're in right now. And that like, I honestly have an overactive conscience, and I know it's stupid, but just straight up murdering does make me feel bad.
But dude, I am right there. I will have like trouble going to sleep if I made some poor NPC have a bad day.
With everything that's happened to us, I have no trouble sleeping. I will say that, but I still do feel a little bad about it.
Yeah,
and
the problem that I have with this one is the fact that if Meccan had been like role playing, let's murder these humans that we can harvest this, and done it in a role playing way, but he literally was just doing like a min-maxing video to help people out. I think he escalated it when then they got upset about it. Then he almost did like an apology, and then it's like, dude, now you just made it worse, and now we've got people yelling, and it's blatant. What is it? Forge your own path or whatever in this game. You should be able to play it however you want, and it's a sandbox. You should be able to play it any way you want. So the hyperbole on both sides is what makes me laugh, and the fact that you get these different kind of ideas that they just want to argue with each other for no goddamn reason. And anytime you're putting people on trial, I just laugh.
I don't have a conscience about this game. I will murder all of you in cold blood for the slightest inconvenience.
Love you too, buddy.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
What would you do for some bio waste?
Yeah. I mean, people, you've got 10 notoriety. How do you sleep at night on a mattress like a baby?
Yeah,
I mean,
what would you do for
I've been that guy. I've been that guy at 10 notoriety.
Yeah. Whether it's naive or not, I hope maybe it started as a min-maxing thing, and maybe it's morphed into like kind of taking it in stride. I hope they have some fun with it, because I still think that little things like this can add to the color of the game.
100%.
They cannot there's no way they can be seriously upset about this if they're doing
that's my
war crime.
Have you ever been on the AXI Discord?
They are very serious.
That's
very
fair.
serious.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, over here, it's what would you do for a Klondike bar?
Yeah.
Immediately cut to Teflon, holding a size 3 frag cannon in his hand, and right to someone's forehead and pulling the trigger.
Boom.
I said when the expansion came out for Space Legs, whatever it's called.
Odyssey.
None of us know.
The first other person I see in walking around in person, like, I'm gonna shoot them. And like, I don't really get out of my ship, so I haven't seen anybody yet, but I'm gonna shoot them.
They're out there.
I'm going to be sure to find you parked somewhere and figure out what the on-foot controls are, just so I can get out and go wave in front of your ship so you can come out and shoot me.
Right.
You go right ahead, and we'll pretend that I won't just shoot you with my ship.
I love that we're devoted enough to have a podcast for this game, and yet some of us have not even played Odyssey yet.
I'm one of them.
I have gotten out of my ship. I just
very
rarely do it.
Daxius, one of us here couldn't name Odyssey.
Yeah,
exactly. Look, I'll say I didn't get into playing Elite because I wanted scintillating first-person shooter experiences.
Yeah,
This is my
like
spaceship game.
Yeah, I want to fly a spaceship. I don't care about getting out of it.
That's fair.
Exactly.
Yep.
Land gunning
I
is what
never
it's
cared
about.
about
People.
getting
Well,
out
hey,
of it. Go back and listen to those podcast
Dear,
episodes.
dear listening audience, however this war trial goes, you'll be sure to hear about the aftermath here on the Loose Screws podcast.
And we'll
I'm
be sure to
looking
make fun of both sides.
Yep.
Exactly.
I'm going to the Reddit. I want to see if they're talking about it on Reddit.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
Now, I wish I was a lawyer instead of a doctor for this, because I mean, I would just roll in and with the white cane and the little sunglasses like Daredevil and be like, "I'm here for the defense," and God, just go in and defend Mechanus. But I'm no lawyer, so I don't.
Yep.
Blooming Wind, I choose to believe that you'd be one of those Southern lawyers with the crisp white suit rolling in like, well, I say here.
Nurgle, can you
With-
confirm
with-
whether or not you have those lawyers in the South?
We do. Oh, we absolutely do.
Yes.
With maybe a big white hat in a convertible Cadillac with bull horns on the hood.
Oh my God.
Because I would so be that guy.
I mean, I was on a call the other day, like about 2 weeks ago. I was on a call with. I'm doing a expert witness work for a malpractice case, and one of the lawyers, he was just sitting there on the call. Like there's like 6 or 7 lawyers on the call. This guy's about 65, and he's got a glass of bourbon, and he's
My
chomping
man.
on a cigar while
My man.
while he's conducting this call with us. And I'm like, I want you to be my lawyer if I ever need one.
My
man.
Yeah,
That is
he had the seersucker suit on and everything.
that is a level of I don't give a fuck that I aspire to have.
I don't
Right?
envy many men, but I envy that man.
I want him
yeah.
to be my lawyer. Can I call him Boss
DGAF.
Hog?
You could.
Was he short and round?
You
No,
better.
he was.
Oh.
He was a little bit more gray and distinguished.
Well, we'll
That's
still
not
call
the
him
right.
Boss Hog.
And a fat, short, and bald.
He's still boss hog.
By the way, I just want to mention this is off topic. I
Uh-oh.
got a new computer with
We're on top.
a powerful graphics card, and I need someone to help me set my graphic settings in Elite because I have fucked it all up.
Just put it
Paging
all
J
to
and
ultra
tracks.
and turn
Paging
things
J
down.
and tracks.
Yeah.
Well, he's not here. He's playing guitar or something.
Literally, just
Well,
jack
we want to
everything
do
to
it
the
right
top.
now.
If
That's
you
all
don't
right.
have
We'll-
good frame rates, turn like shadows down first, and as long as you get it good enough frame rates, just jack it all up, buddy.
Basically, everything as high as it can go and work down from there. It's the
Yeah.
same sort of situation with flight sims. Just keep going down on things you need to until you get to a good frame rate and then leave it alone.
All right, Chig. He served that up for you really easy. He said, just keep going down.
Yeah,
Waka waka.
we're gonna have a second trial here, I think.
So, anyways, TLDR, hey, Commander Meekin, if you want someone to pretend to be a lawyer for you, come to our Discord.
And
Back
because
end.
we
Yeah.
have to give him a different name every time we say his name, Commander Merchant, keep doing what you're doing, buddy.
Yep.
Yeah.
You
And
guys
if you-
realize this is the guy who killed a Hydra in a Sidewinder, right?
Yeah, Commander Mothballs is legendary.
Yeah.
He's killing
I'm-
interceptor blindfolded.
I'm on Commander Mocklin's side. So.
Yeah.
And
And if you need a public platform to state your side of this and defend yourself, we will be that microphone. Come on the show.
Commander Mecha Hi. Never mind.
We will
You can come
absolutely
here
kick
anytime.
everyone but Chig and Trax out of the podcast so you can have a chance to speak.
You
Well,
can't kick me out of
no.
nowhere.
Wow.
whether I
Good
can
luck
speak or
with that
not,
one.
whether I can speak or not, I hope Commander Megatron goes to jail.
Yeah, you won't be on
Alright.
that podcast.
Yes,
Audaxia.
we
Oh,
We
like
like you.
Oh, I'd
will
like
be
to
Commander
putting
Murderbot.
Daxi in timeout.
I'd like to see y'all try to stop me. Oh yeah, I've already been in timeout once, so you could do
Now-
it again.
Now, come on, be nice.
I'll
Comma-
put you in timeout. I won't tell
I
you
can
how
s-
long it is, and I'll
I-
just for Commander Starscream's comfort.
Oh
I
my
could
gosh.
I can change the permissions on the podcast recording channel and just block
Right.
you out. So
Well, before I get myself banned, let's roll on, huh?
I was going to
Yeah,
say,
let's roll
Commander
on.
Menomina is a person.
Oh,
Phenomena. Yes.
Phenomena.
Phenomena. Oh, yes, Commander Phenomena. All right, let's move on to Community Corner and let Commander Mr. Indigo give us an update on the Buckyball.
Woohoo! Boys, it went very, very well. I had a fantastic time. So here's the story. I'll try and keep it brief. During the last Buckyball season, or at some point flying around, I got to thinking about what might make for a race. Because I just have gotten so much out of learning how to fly my ship and hang out with the folks on the Buckyball Discord. And I got the idea to do a race that just involved going through the rings of a bunch of planets and staying in one system the whole time, which is kind of the opposite of what most of the typical Buckyball races are like. I didn't put it together really until this morning, listening to Alec Turner talking on Lave, that I had come up with the idea to use the rings of planets as gates in a race. Since they don't give us a way to put gates anywhere we want, I found a system that had 8 ringed planets that were easy enough to get to and conveniently located, so that people would have to go through all of them to complete the race. And it happened to be really well timed, because now all of a sudden we've got this old school video game turbo boost nitrous tank strapped to our ships. In the interest of fairness, the new Pythons weren't allowed, so everybody in the unlimited class had to strap an SCO drive onto whatever their favorite Super Cruise ship was, with no concerns for jump range and not much concern about top speed, because there was only one takeoff and one landing in the whole race. And it went over like gangbusters. It took everybody by surprise, I think, and turned out to be a crazy ride for all involved. There was a bonus that I was kind of anxious about whether to include, but the Brewski helped put together this scoring scheme where your highest reported speed while going through one of these rings resulted in a bonus. And I was thinking, we'll need different scales, because in regulation, in just a stock unengineered Cobra, people will be at like 1.5 C. And then with the SCO drives, you never know how it's gonna play out. And it kind of looked that way at first, but then one of the fairly early days, maybe 3 days into the race, Dar Plata came through and just dropped a time that was so much faster than I would have thought possible, and had a top speed of 38.2 C going through the rings of a planet.
Whoa!
No!
In an
That is
unengineered Cobra with no STO drive, only using standard Super Cruise. And it just got more absurd from there. So what I thought was going to turn out to be like a 15-minute kind of race, the usual Buckyball ends up being like 15 to 20 to 30 minutes. Before long, it was clear that was not going to be the case. And the fastest time in regulation was just over 11 minutes. There was like, nobody broke 11 minutes on the actual base time. And with the bonus adjusted, that Dar Plata run from fairly early in the week also had the tied for the highest speed at 38.2 C, and came out 1 second faster than Brewski's time, which had actually been a little quicker, but was only at 29.7 C going through the rings.
That sounds terrifying, going next to a planet that fast.
It is. It absolutely is. And hearing Alec and Cygni talk about it, I did feel a little bit of remorse, because including that bonus gave you all the incentive in the world to go absolutely fast as hell to the first set of rings, and if you screw up, blow up and try again, or fly all the way back. About halfway through the week, people realized that some people were just self-destructing and trying again, and there was a collective sound of desks hitting keyboards. I think Alex said he did more than 150 launches from Bunch City, the station in Ross 104 where they were racing, and I think maybe 10% of those ended up being actual runs. And in the unlimited class with the new SCO drives, it was absurd. The fastest time, Shea Blackwood got 5 minutes and 18 seconds in a Beluga.
Damn.
With a maximum transit velocity of 55 C.
Whoa!
And
that's a quick whale.
That's trucking.
Brewski was in second in an FAS, which I would not have really expected to see in a Buckyball race, much less on the podium. And then Ryko in a Vulture at 69.4 C going through the
Nice.
planets, the rings of a planet.
Dude, you hit a
Nice.
planet at that speed and you just straight up cease to exist.
Hey, guys, quick question as far as the SCO mechanics. If you manage to hit a body at one of these massive exponential speeds, does it do more hull damage than the standard like 1 to 2% if you hit a
Yes.
Yeah,
It does.
On a fairly well stocked ship, you might lose 10% of your hull.
Okay, cool.
If you're
So
at speed and
it's
hit
not
the
gonna kill you,
planet,
you
you'll
just
lose
have to-
100% of your hull every time.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
The Pilots Federation takes care of that.
Yep.
But yeah, so it was interesting to see that, at first we thought it would be about running out of gas or about heat. And I'm sure there will be other races in this season where you'll have to go 100,000 light seconds or something like that and worry about heat and worry about fuel. But in this case, it was just a combination of luck and insanity. And what turned out to be one of the big technical challenges between the folks who managed to break 6 minutes or 6.5 minutes was the ability to keep your throttle at 100% and not 99 point anything percent. And that some folks had HOTAS issues where what they thought was 100% throttle turned out to be 99.9% throttle. And that slows you down enough to keep you from being able to go 30 times the speed of light through the rings of a planet.
Wow.
And incidentally, at that speed, it's a bit like being the GoPro on the front of a road luge. Croquet, what do you call them? Wickets? Are they wickets in croquet? Croquet hoops?
Yeah.
A doggy door, maybe. That's about what it seems like watching. There's a couple of great videos. Brewski had an awesome one where you could see his kid over his shoulder watching and kind of cheering him on, and they sail through at an impossible speed, and both of them kind of jump and duck like they'd seen it go by.
Oh, I love it.
And yeah, it's
That's gotta
it was
just tickle your
fantastic.
pink,
It was
huh?
great fun, and some people really, really dug it. For instance, Brewski and Ryko got second and third in both classes. They were just vibing with it. And then Shea Blackwood, a perennial podium holder, had the absolute fastest time at an adjusted 3 minutes and 33 seconds, with a huge bonus for going preposterously fast. But one last little anecdote: of all the people in regulation, that one winning run by Dar Plata was the only one that didn't take the binary pairs together. The race had 8 planets, 3 sets of 2, and then 2 that were on their own. And because they're in the same place, everybody said, oh, hey, I'll go through 4 and 5 together, or I'll go through 2 and 3 together. And with the exception of going out to the edge of the system to get 7 and 8, 8, by the way, was a little black rock with a dark gray ring around it. Sorry about that, folks. That wasn't intentional. But space gonna space, right? But of all the folks, Dar Plata was the only one that went through the individual planets in those pairs in completely different sequence. So rather than slowing down to try and take a tight turn between 2 and 3, just blaze through 2 and then went on to 6 or something, and then blaze through 3 a minute or 2 later. And yeah, it was, and nobody thought to do it that way, and it wasn't until after the race that came out. But I knew pretty early on in the race, and so I was, as these were coming in, I was writing down the order in which they went through things. So from a pretty early spot, it was cool to have a secret in my back pocket that might have upset the race if everybody knew about it, But yeah, it was great. Everybody was a fantastic sport about it, and some people really, really just threw themselves in it to the point of physical and emotional harm. Really so. So I do kind of feel bad about the results of having a bonus, but as the first race of this type and the first one where we have the Super Cruise overcharge, I feel like we wouldn't have learned nearly as much about it without some obvious incentive to just go insanely fast at a tiny, tiny target. Yeah, but it was great. Everybody, I think, just totally killed it and embraced it in that buckyball way that I've come to love. So thanks to everybody who participated, and then thanks to Bloom for delivering the 3,000 tons of tritium to the 2 winners.
It was my pleasure.
Yeah,
I was
it's good to
very
represent
proud.
the Loose
Cool.
Screws.
I was very proud to sponsor the first Loose Screws Buckyball race. So
Yeah,
hopefully,
so
Team
I got my
Buckyball will
eye
let us
on.
have many more.
I got my eye open for other contender systems. So if you come across any particularly funky systems full of ring bodies, let me know. I found one thanks to the Galactic Catalog Twitter account just the other day. There's this star called Abaddon, 15,000 light years away. That is a massive, massive carbon star with a bunch of ringed planets, including a few
Ooh.
hot Jupiters around it. And I would love to figure out how to get people out there for something like a 1 billion credit prize, you know?
Hey, can you put a link to that system down
Yeah, I will.
in
I will
the
for sure.
exploration?
Yeah.
channel?
Yeah, for sure. It's awesome. The catalog entry for it is just killer. And
Nice.
I'm gonna have to go. It's not anywhere particularly handy either. It's down south 15,000 light years. So I'll have to go take a jaunt and see if it's as good for racing as my daydreams are. But yeah.
Has
So if you
anyone
see
done
any
a
other
Dakar,
systems like that, yeah, let me
has
know.
anyone done a Dakar rally kind of race where it's just they have to go? You have to just hit multiple points in multiple systems, and it's just kind of a long haul. Like go to Hutton Orbital and go to other really far away points in a bunch of systems.
There are a few standing races in the Buckyball Discord that are just kind of open for anybody who wants to try them. I don't know if there are any quite like that, but there's the Iron Bucky Challenge where you register ahead of time and say, at this time I'm going to do a run, so you don't get to mulligan it or anything. You just have one slot to go fly someplace and then land and then drive 150 kilometers and call your ship and take off. And I think there's a second version of that that'll have a few added, like decathlon kind of wrinkles. And then there's the Sag A Star challenge that's basically just a speed run to the center of the Milky Way. But yeah, I've been thinking about that a little bit, having a driving one, kind of in the spirit of some of the Circumnavigation Club or the whatever that old run that somebody, Alec Turner maybe, and some other folks put together that they just did an anniversary reenactment of. But yeah, there are some interesting race type things to do, and then all the ED Copilot time trials. You know, every engineer base now has an SRV time trial. You can race around and compare your times with other people. So yeah, it's fun that there are a bunch of new and interesting ways to race each other in this 10-year-old game that nobody ever plays anymore.
Dead.
Bad
Bad
game.
game.
Yeah.
Bad game.
The deadest game.
Say that.
I swear it's become like
Churchill.
a chant. Anytime someone says this game no one plays anymore, a dead game, everyone else has to be like the dead game.
That game.
Oh, and I did finally kill all those guys in cold blood who couldn't respond. But there was one other little interesting AI wrinkle. After I started bumping into them, they would try and shoot me, but they still couldn't move. A couple of them had been made by Lark, so they had turreted cannons. I had to kill those first because the other ones, I just didn't have to get in front of them. Like if I would move in front of them, they would start shooting me, and if I would move to the side, they wouldn't. And when I started discovering that all the FDLs had underslung turreted cannons, I had to be a little more expeditious about polishing them off. But it was a fun little study in where is the power plant and how hard do I have to poke it.
Wow.
Yeah, cannon will
That's
mess
awesome.
you up whether it's turreted or fixed. You got to watch out for those.
We need to do a buckyball relay race.
That's an interesting idea. I mean,
relay.
they're doing. There's all the Hutton Run stuff now, right? They keep updating the record holders on Lave Radio, but I think Stargoid and their lot are down to 26 minutes or something like that.
Oh god, those guys are crazy.
Wow.
Which is basically a relay. You know, they have their wingmates scattered around to refuel them and do F1 style fast refuel and keep going. But yeah, the relay is an interesting idea too, because you can do that with an actual cargo object, you know, throw something
Right.
invaluable and make sure you charge it through systems that have pirates
And make it really fun that you have to hand off using the SRV.
right.
You have to land, get out in your SRV, dump it. The other person picks it up in theirs, gets back in the ship, and takes off.
Yeah, by the end of the buckyball race, it had gotten so fast that if it had gotten any faster, they were going to start having to do laps. Like if it takes you 4 minutes to go around, one lap is not enough.
Yeah.
But there's that whole kind of forgotten history of modern sport where 50,000 people used to go to stand in a field house and watch bicycle races. Watch people just go around 8, 12, 16, 24 hours, 100 hours racing bicycles around in a circle. So who knows what other kinds of strange racing things we can come up with in this crazy sandbox.
Did they come up with the idea or discuss the idea of like take your concept and make it a side by side?
Yeah, well, there's actually one of the buckyballers, Tobias von Brandt, I think, who just finished doing an Olympics that was sort of an Odyssey decathlon, jumping around, running around, having live side by side races and all that. There was
the
club
foot race was so freaking funny. I saw clips of it online.
Yeah, there was a club that did live racing in Elite for years that folded a while back and seems to be getting a little bit of a resurgence. So yeah, there are people who are working on organizing that stuff. I'll keep an ear out and make a point of making some noise on the Discord when live racing events come around again. But yeah, it is a thing for sure, and I think it would work quite well with a race like this one. Absolutely. Even more so if you had a system where the order of planets was clearer, where it was like, this is the way you're going to go, so everybody is going to go. And I did have some great experiences watching from in the system as people were having their runs and getting behind them, and it was very, very difficult not interdicting them a couple of times, because I would be right behind somebody doing their buckyball practice run and see them pivot and wheel around when they got to one planet and dash off in the other direction with all the messages that it gives you about Super Cruise. It's clear the SEO is intended for pursuit. Like, they have very clearly made it a game loop that we're going to get used to watching somebody we're chasing going in and out of Super Cruise while we're trying to get behind them. And it was really cool being in a system and watching a couple of people doing their runs. I think doing that with several ships, following ships in Super Cruise is one of those little quiet joys that this game has that a lot of people don't have any experience of. Like flying next to somebody when you can actually see their ship because you're so close in Super Cruise, or getting around behind somebody in a system so that you can interdict them and shoot them with fireworks, or all those kind of Super Cruise hijinks are part of what made me want to do this version of a race. So yeah, I think it would be totally cool to see 5 or 6 or 10 little hollow icons dashing around in a system. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it would. So can you give us any information on the next leg of the Buckyball Challenge?
It has the best trailer I think I've ever seen for a Buckyball race. It's called Top Gun. It's got a Top Gun themed trailer. The race involves shooting missiles at stuff and running. I think they haven't made the official post. Probably tomorrow or the next day, I think the post will be up on the forums. But the trailer is up there now, and you should absolutely go track it down. I'll make sure there's a version of it in the Discord as well. It's just brilliant. It's just fantastic. Cool. It's going to be a great race.
Awesome. All right. We've got a couple of other links in the community corner. There was a new video from Commander Deturi on an easy way to unlock the Federal Corvette. I noticed today that Yamix has resurfaced with one of his typical elite videos. This one on how to make money, and it's in the typical Yamix. I don't know why he bothers.
Let's not even mention it.
It's like herpes. He just keeps coming back.
He keeps coming back. And Hawks Gaming, who had stopped making videos, has got a new video out now. So apparently the new ships coming back has spurred some of the old content creators to come back and start making some stuff. So.
Well. Look who came crawling back.
Yes, I don't know
Good
if that's
game.
necessarily a good thing, but
Uh,
Hey, Adaxius, Starfield called. They got some new mods you should check out.
just shut up, man.
that's
He spent all his money over there. He can't play that anymore.
Just shut up, okay? Hey, I like that game, damn it.
that makes one of us.
I have never been more wrong about thinking that game could offer competition to a game like Elite. What was I thinking?
Really?
Yeah.
You've never been more wrong?
Hey,
Really?
well, hold on. Let's pretend, for this benefit of the doubt, that I have not been more wrong.
That's what she said.
Yep. Anyway, Elite, it was good while it lasted, wasn't it?
Dead game. Yeah.
That game.
That game.
Cool.
On that note, is there anything we really need to talk about before we close this out?
I don't think so.
We really need to talk about why hot dogs come in packages of 10 and hot dog puns come in packages of 8.
Quick, Nurgle, get us out of here.
Do we really?
No.
All right.
Nurgle, hit the button.
Hit the button. Make it stop. Make it
Eject.
stop.
Eject.
All right. Well, I am Commander Nurgle, and for Commander Adaxius, Commander Bloomingwind, Commander Larkshadow, Commander Chig, Mad Tef, who just snuck in,
Don't
Commander
speak for me.
Mr. Indigo, and Commander Oblivious. Our time is done here, and we thank you for yours. Everybody,
Wait,
please say
you don't
goodnight.
speak for me.
Good night.
I don't.
I'll speak for you. Bye.
Yeah.